I'm sorry to disappoint you, but nothing in life can make you happy. And by that I mean that anything that has objective qualities, that means all objects, people, places, things, status, substances, activities, all these things which have one thing in common, right? And that one thing is the fact of being time bound. They're all transient, ephemeral, they all come and later go. Because when I look through my life, I don't have anyone, except perhaps my brother, who has entered my life and is still present in my life. Everyone else has come and gone. I don't have any friends that have lasted for more than 8 years, no. I've traveled the world to various places in hopes that I would find or discover something that would be lasting in myself, to find peace or happiness by traveling, and it always disappointed. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed my travels, right? But I didn't find what I was looking for ultimately. And I see this with so many people that really they try to escape their circumstances by going somewhere else for the time being. And even people who move to another country in the belief that this will fulfill them. I even have this idea right now that, yeah, my life would probably be better if I moved somewhere else. And sure, it might be circumstantially better in some regards, but it will never fulfill you. It will never fulfill you. I've taken multiple substances throughout my life, thinking that only if I get this one right, if I somehow gain the wisdom and insight and understanding in this one trip, if I can just download it and embody it, then finally I'll be complete. And it's never the case, right? I've acquired money and I've listened to millionaires, billionaires, given their testimony, and all these people, they were under the belief or conviction that acquiring all this money, this status would somehow fulfill them, and many of them just find themselves lonely, unfulfilled, lacking, with all the success that they could want materially, and they're still lacking. I mean, it's just, you got to question this sort of thing, right? And so you might be doing meditation regularly. I was a militant meditator for years, thinking that would fulfill me somehow. Again, if I could somehow get to the finish line of self-realization, then that would fill my cup. Doing yoga, qigong, breathwork, all these sorts of things, extreme sports, you name it, all these activities, and having people in your life that you might enter many relationships on behalf of the idea that this relationship or this person will fulfill me. But the fact is that no thing, any of these things that are named, and even many more, none of them have the ability to ever fulfill you. And that might seem like a depressing statement, a pessimistic statement, because, well, what's left to life, right? Because when we look at life, all there really is to life is the experience. And the experiences in life, experience itself, is solely made up of what? Senses, thoughts, feelings, perceptions, right? That's it. That's all there is to it. And we can't derive anything lasting from neither thoughts, feelings, senses, or perceptions, because they all come and go. There's never been a thought, a feeling, a sensation, or a perception that has been lasting all throughout your life. You cannot find a single one. And so, at some point after banging our skulls against the wall over and over, in continual disappointment and trying to achieve lasting happiness through the acquisition of things, the disappointment just becomes so glaringly obvious that we get to a recognition wherein we see that, yeah, none of these things can ever provide us what we're looking for ultimately. And that is not a depressing statement. It's a statement of freedom. Because then it means that you no longer attribute or invest your belief or fixation into or onto these very things. It means that then you can distance yourself from the belief, the investment, the implication that you have attached to these things in your life, to the people, to the places around you, to the things you acquire, to your money, status, substances, all these things, right? And when these things no longer have the pulling power, the traction to invest your attention and belief into them, because you know ultimately they can never fulfill you, then where do you look? What is left? What is there when everything is taken away from you? And I don't mean that in the old religious sense that you have to distance yourself from your life and go live on a mountaintop or in a cave. It's a misunderstanding, right? That might have been for a different era. We live in times where that's not necessarily suitable, and it's not necessary at all, really. We live in times where you can come to this recognition, this seeing, and to simply know in that moment that, yeah, I don't need to invest myself in this, because there must be something that is able to truly provide the insight which I know is available for me. And so you look all across your life and you see one disappointment after another, and then you may begin to question, well, what has been the common denominator all throughout my life? Well, what is it? Awareness, beingness, the presence of your very existence has been continuous all throughout. And so then you begin to inquire, to observe, to look, to see, well, what am I? What is this presence that has been permeating and pervading all my life? What is this fact of existence that is the very root, the substratum, the source, the core of my very being? This life in which all experiences unfold. What is it? And we might not be able to conjure up a fitting, suitable answer, and we don't need to, fortunately. Simply in the open receptivity, we find what we have been looking for. But we don't find anything that we can latch onto or rightly invest our belief into. No. There's just this openness, this spontaneity, this aliveness, which you cannot fence in through conceptual thinking. You cannot download this and store it somewhere in your mind for later use. No. It is right here, with you, as you, at all times. And whenever you care to absolve your attention from the very things you have recognized over and over aren't going to fulfill you, when you relinquish your fixation on these things, and you simply remain as that which remains, then you'll find peace and happiness. Causeless, ceaseless peace and happiness, right? And that is really the greatest gift, the greatest freedom. Because to imagine there to be such an exquisite joy, which is no reason for being, no cause. It doesn't require anything from you. It doesn't cost you a single dime. And you can't even know yourself as separate from it, because it is the very emanation of you. It is simply here with you, as you, present, available and alive. I know this might still, for many, be hard to grasp, and I can't say it's always completely perfectly clear and pristine to my awareness either, because I'm still captivated many times by the world, by the things that occupy this world. But for years now, I've just been able to come into this, to be as this. Very easeful, in fact, so beyond easeful, like it doesn't require anything at all. It is simply available. Just as you is that principle which is available all throughout and consistent all throughout experience and life itself. It is that obvious fact which runs through everything. It is the common denominator of life, of existence, of all experience. And so I've come to a place in myself where I feel confident sharing this. I feel confident allowing my words to stream through this knowing, to bring it to your being, and for it to hopefully land somewhere authentic, truthful in you, so that I can share this gift from my heart to yours. And if you still find difficulty, if you still find that there's this tendency to want to grasp or to understand or to want to try to figure things out, right? This old trick of the mind to keep itself intact. If you find yourself caught in this, I offer my guidance, my undivided attention and assistance to you listening right now, whereby I invite you to check out my link in the description for my spiritual life coaching program, where I'll take you through one-on-one sessions to guide you deeply into yourself in such a way that you can take the reins of this approach, this knowledge, this understanding, to embody it, to make it your own, to see it for yourself, because I cannot bring you there. I can only point you to that which you already intrinsically know as true in yourself. So that is what I'm here to offer. Check it out if you feel so inclined. I'd love to have a talk with you. And with that, I wish you all the absolute best. Take care. Bye.